Don't inhale water. It's not great. Oh, hello. I see we have one human. One human's better than no human. Where do I put this? It's reasonable. Guess down there will do for now. Maybe I make it small. Small one. Yeah, it's good. Alright, so this is my game Buggos. And I know you probably can't see much. But right now we're looking at the evolution tree for my game. Gotta zoom out a little bit. So here's like all of the possible tech routes that one can go in this game. You notice there's no real like art for the images and it all kind of looks like poop. That's okay. Like one of the important bits of doing any kind of content creation is to just get shit on paper. This is basically shit on paper. So right now I'm trying to make sure that all the evolution points actually can effectively be selected. Give it a second. It should run. Look here. So it already knows I've upgraded these ones. Then we got that connection upgraded. Now I'm out of points. Let me go. Where did I put that? Is it here? Add some evolution points here. Let's give myself 10. And now I should be able to add some more. That's good. I'm happy to see this. This means my code works. And we're just going to sanity check the whole thing. Got to move the camera. So I don't even have camera movement code working for this particular area, which isn't super impressive. Hello, camera. All right, well, we'll move the canvas then. Nothing wants to move today. We'll move the whole tree. Oh god, don't move the tree. That does terrible things. Well, it's probably pretty good. Test one by the other. Does the background move? The background move. How do I move the actual camera? Why is the camera not wanting to move? Am I going crazy? Usually this would move things. Well, that's nuts. Oh well. But it looked like that all worked, which is nice. So, what I'd like to do now is something I've been meaning to do for a while, which is to try to get this functionality in the game itself. So right now I've got this sort of as a side scene in the game. So let's save this. I like what I see. Let's go back to the main menu. And this is the problem with Unity, it like has to rebuild every time. Let's continue our game. So I've got this little evolution points available button. When I click this, I want it to open up that other menu, so that way it can select the points. And we also have to display the number of points. So that's something else we want to add in as a variable counter, whatever, that would show the current available point. So how do I make it so when I click this button, something happens? Well, first of all, what scene are we in? We're in the overworld scene. So let's go out of play mode. Go to overworld. Open it up. And interesting, notice it's gone right now. So at some point, it's been a while since I've worked on this project. At some point, I programmed it so that thing will pop up if you have something available. Let's see if it just pops up normally. Unknown. Let's check the code in this thing. Hopefully you should be able to see the code in the bottom right. So right now, kind of looking for who owns this button over here. That's the evolution button, so let's search for it. Evolution button. It has the ability to wiggle on it. Why is it popping up now is the real question. Overworld GUI, main GUI. Not seeing anything obvious. Main game GUI. So let's just look here. Evolution. This is the other problem when you make a game is there's so many systems in it that require you to remember what the fuck's going on. And being able to find them if you come back, like, say, a month later, because it's been about a month since I've worked on this. Try to figure out what you were doing. It's tough. So start, we init. This code deals with saving the completed section, returning. Also, commenting your code, very important for this exact problem. Interesting. Okay, so this is part of the game GUI. So this just popped up because we load in the game GUI. It's not a part of the overworld naturally, which is fine. So we need to actually make it so it's not always on. So how do we do that? Well, let's go over to Game Master GUI. Main game GUI. Blackout transition. So somewhere in here. Here. We need to set it so that way they can turn on. And I kind of want them to be able to change their evolution points from, I guess not anywhere. I don't want them to be able to do it inside of a current map. If I was to show you what a map looks like. So right now we got all bugs spawned here. I don't think I want them to be able to change their evolutions now that they're on the planet or trying to fight. I think I want them to be able to only change it between levels. Now you can hear the bug crunching. This one ended well. I think I'm gonna get murdered. They've murdered us. Alright, so the stream's audio bitrate might be 0. Audio bitrate. Strange. Alright, I just double checked to make sure it was working. Alright, so how do we do that? So let's set it automatically so it's not on. Let's go over to Game GUI. There we go. So it exists over here in the Game GUI. And it turns it off when it's in a normal game, which is good. But we want it to be on when we're in the main menu area. Who controls that? Main game GUI? Overworld GUI. Are you in the Overworld GUI? You are. Okay. So let me search for that here. Oh, we've got it. Overworld GUI. Load for area name. So it sets them both to 0. Area name is main menu. Okay, so this is where I do all my setting of things. God, it's been so long. So in the main game, we don't turn it on, but in the overworld. Okay, so I wanted to start off actually not on. So let's get a reference to it, because we don't have one. So public. We'll just do game object. And this is evolution points available. Now that we have a reference for it, let's go grab it. Literally put it in that slot. Whoop. All right, where did it go? It's going to be in the main GUI here. There we go. So we've got this available here. Let's go ahead and pick it up, put the button down, boom. All right, so now that we've got a reference in code and we've dragged it over in the editor, we can go over here. When we open the overworld, I would actually like to turn it off first. So evolution points available, dot set active to false. So let's see what that looks like right now. See if we made some progress to doing what we want. So let's go back to the overworld. And hopefully you can see all the things I'm doing, those of you who are here. And again, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. I'm looking back and forth occasionally. All right, and boom, look at that. So it's not there anymore. Remember, we were trying to make that button go away. And that way it's, in the case that we don't have anything, nothing will show up. And now we need to say, all right, if there is something, I want that to pop up. So we set it off automatically. Now what we could do right here, say, do we want this to be its own thing? When will they get evolution points? They'll get evolution points after beating a level. So this is a fine place to do this. I mean, as fine as fine gets. So how do we check to see if there's any evolution points? Right now, I'm saving all those just in a save file. Evolution points available. Load evolution points. Here we go. So I saved the current number of evolution points here. And evolution points available. And playersave.bug. I think it's a funny name. Let me go grab that. We're just going to load straight out of the file. This is not recommended, but I'm a lazy boy. If you were smart, you would load everything you needed out of the file into a temporary data storage, and then operate out of that, and then reload things back into the file when you're done. But you can practice what you preach, or you could be a lazy boy like me. Okay, so let's actually just load that information straight out of the file. Evolution points available. That's the key that we're looking for out of the file. And this is the file. We're going to load that. So if this thing we load, will you let me do that? Cannot convert from object to bool. That's okay. Maybe it's not okay. Maybe it's been a while since I've been programming. So this is always going to be an int. Evo points is equal to this. What is your major malfunction? Do I need to cast it? Are you having a problem with type? There we go. All right, that's fine. We're not above slightly writing things out. If evo points is greater than 0, like we have some, then we're going to make this thing available to see. Bueno. So let's see how that looks. We press play. I don't know if I actually have any evolution points available, but this will work one way or the other. It's running. All right, so we have some points available. Perfect. Let me go double check by getting rid of the save file altogether. I always want to make sure that you check your error cases. Tools. So let's clear the data. It's probably going to throw an error here because I didn't check for the file not being there. Yeah, and it threw an error. File not found. So let's deal with that in our code as well. So we can set this to a default if it can't find it, which is really cool. We're going to default that to 0. As you can see here, maybe you can. Let me know if it's too small. That this thing can take the key you're looking for at the file path, and it has a default if it can't find anything there. So now that we put that in, I'm going to reload the scene. Take a look at... Ah, there we go, good. So it didn't pop up. So it couldn't find the file, which means it doesn't have any evolution points. Don't show the thing. But let's go trick it, make a new file. Let me open up the evolution scene. Not that one. All right, and in here I have a pre-baked way to cheat the system. Let's run. Let us tomato onion. Sorry, I thought that was funny. Let us add an evolution point. Hopefully you can see that. And then we're going to force save evolution talents, which will create a save file. And we'll have at least 1 point in there, I think. Let's go double check. We can double check by opening up our save file. This is, oh, you can't see this garbage. Hold on. Let me make the garbage visible. Plus window capture, text box. Cool. Boom. Here's our save file. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, let me know if you can't. And in here is the save information for all of our crap. Is the technical term, in case you're ever curious. So, evolution talents. Oh, it might be off the screen slightly. There we go. So let's see if we have any evolution points. Points? Point? I guess this didn't actually save. It only saved the talents. It didn't save the number of evolution points available. That's all right. We can fix that. This is all game dev is just a series of like, what is my goal? I would like to build a system that does X. Oh fuck, it's not working. And then you just slowly tear at all the oh fucks that's not working until it works. It's as simple as that. It just takes forever. So let's go find out where we save all of our talents. Evolution manager. So we only save it when we purchase something. But what if we don't purchase anything? How do we ever get new talents into the save file? New talent points. Somewhere in here, I need to tell it to do that. I mean, for now, let's just do it in the force save. That happens in saving and loading, saving the evolution points. Let's go check that out. Go to definition. It saves all the talents. Let's also have it es3.save our evolution points, the current points that we have, the number of available points, I should say. Evolution talents. No, go away. Evolution manager. What did we say? Right here. This is the perfect dingle dangle. Oh, but we don't want it here. We want it. You want to make sure all of your code for doing the same shit is right next to each other. That way it's easy to find. Save the evolution points. It doesn't know how many points we have. Fuck. You gotta tell it how many points to save. So when we ask it to save the evolution points, we could keep that information in a... No, it's a terrible idea. We'll just send it to it. So when we ask it to save the evolution points, we're also going to ask the function to say, hey, tell me how many points that you haven't spent are still available. Unspent point. Save unspent points here in player.bug. Okay, so anywhere that we used to use this function, it's changed, so we got to go update it. So I'm going to let the compiler help me out with that. Let me get rid of this text box so you can see. So I'm going to click back over to here. It's going to yell at me because I've changed something somewhere. And in here, it needs to know how many points we haven't spent. Is it evolution points? Okay. Evolution points is a global variable in this this class. So perfect. That means it's available to this function automatically. All right. Let's see if the compiler yells at us. It's compiling, which means probably not. Perfect. No yelling. Yelling's bad. All right, now let's take a look. Give us a save real quick for save evolution points. Very good. Now let's check back in the overworld if that did anything. So theoretically, we should have 10 evolution points. It should see that and pop up our little evolution point. Little kitty thing. Perfect, it did it. Now we're gonna, I like to double check things quite a few times. So I'm gonna clear. Is this window not here? It's not here. You can't see it, but I'm clearing the information. And we're gonna check it one more time. Okay, it's gone. We're gonna go back to our file. Back to evolution. We're going to force it to make a new file again with 1 point in it. And we're going to go back to the overworld. And again, this is it. This is the glory of game dev, at least from the programming point of view. And it should pop up the thing. Beauty. We did it. That's what I like to see. All right, so now when we click the button, I want to switch over to that evolution world scene. I hate typing that in every time, so it'd be nice to make it part of the game. So since that's a button, we need to give it a piece of code so it can do something. That would be in the GUI code, probably. Be a good spot for it. What do we think? Wait for GUI to fade out. Load GUI for that. I would put it down here at the bottom. So we'll say, this is a level. Doesn't have to be a level change. It can just be an addition. We can additively load the scene on top of this scene that we're currently in. So let's make a public function. Open evolution. What do we want to call it? Scene. That's fine. Fine for now, anyways. And then we want to load this on top. So, do we have scene management in here? We do. Scene manager dot load scene. Got to get the name of our evolution scene. Evolution. Let me just make sure. Right now it's named something absolutely terrible. Let's call it evolution selector. It's got a little bit of a better name now. And we'll say load that. And we want to load it additively, which means instead of just totally switching from our overworld scene, although I guess we could, it sort of depends on how we want to play with it. We can just load it on top. So let's try that for now. We can always change it. Load scene mode additive. Let's see what that looks like. Now I have a feeling it won't work super well. Maybe. It depends on how I'm doing the raycast. Because I'm worried that my mouse clicking will also select some of the stuff underneath it. Because these layer on top of each other like paper. If you've used Photoshop, it's like that. Those type of layers as well. And sometimes when you click, it can shoot through multiple layers of paper. Why aren't you loading? All right. That's not good. Oh, I didn't set up the button. Let's go over to our GUI scene. We got the code available, but we have to tell it to use the code. Go in here, overworld, button, on click. So if someone clicks this bad boy, we're gonna use our code we just made, which is open evolution scene, right there. Save, go back to overworld. Well. Let's try it out. All right, it's complaining because we didn't load the scene into the game's file system. It's not here in the build window, so we're just going to add it, which is evolution selector. It's nice you can just drag and drop these. So there we go. That's good enough for Unity. Let's try again. And boom. Look at that. We did it. We got our evolution scene in here. We should have 10 things so I can click. Yeah, that one's not clicking. Well, we got one in. I'll take one. It's currently having a hissy fit because there's 2 audio listeners in the scene now, which makes me think I accidentally left an audio listener in the evolution scene. Let's go double check that. Audio listeners are the thing in the game that determines if you can hear noise. As simple as that sounds, that's what it does. It's probably attached to the camera. So we can just remove that. Perfect. Universal additional camera data script. That worries me. I don't know what that does. All right. But all that aside, it should work now. So let's go back to Overworld. Press play. All right. Oh, and we spent our point. That's funny. So since we spent our 1 point, the evolution's available isn't going to pop up again. But I can trick it. Let me turn on our text box. Let's go find our evolution points. Oh, come now. What did I call you? Hold on, I'm looking in the code. Let's see. Go to definition. Evolution points available. You should be in here. Don't be like that. Do I need to reload you? Is that the problem? Yeah, it needed to be reloaded. Let's see, can I tell it to reload? No. If I close that. Ah, good, the new one figured out. So here it is. Right now we have 0 points. Let's set that up to 10, because we're funny. Command S, save it. Go away. And now let's see if that made a difference. Go and run it now. Boom, it's back. We can buy this one. We can buy this one. We can buy that one. We can buy this one. It's out of reach. Can't quite click on it from here. Now we need a way to go back, right? Maybe we're done. We don't want to put any more points. So usually I'd want 2 ways to do this, with a button and by also pressing escape, which would be nice. Oh, hold on. I didn't see. Hey, Ruffy. Tell me how to constrain the rotation of an object while nulling out the y-axis without flipping at the poles, without scripts. Which one gives you poop bees? Hi, Ruffy. Sorry. I was just blabbing. Constrain the rotation of an object while nulling out the y and x rotation. Well, that's actually fairly simple. Let me go to a new scene. Let's make an object. So you can cheat in multiple ways. So the cheaty method is just never let it do it in the first place. Give it a rigid body. If this was a rigid body type thing you were doing. And you can tell it its constraints, see this constraint button? Freeze the rotation and any of the axes you want. You can also freeze the position. No rigid bodies. Jesus Christ. You're a monster. We are also constrained. So you would like to constrain the rotation of an object while nulling out the y-axis rotation without flipping at the poles, without scripts. Boy. How is it rotating? Because that's the real question. If it doesn't have a rigid body and it's not being changed with script, how is it rotating? What need would you have to constrain it if it's never rotating anyway? Because somewhere in that script, sorry, hit the microphone. Like, there's only 2 ways something rotates. A rotation is determined by engine elsewhere. So you're doing like a kinematic physics thing where twist bone. Ugh. So you're talking about with a rig? So you want you're basically talking about you want your head rig to look at the right direction. Yeah. Sorry, I had to go turn the heater off. Without scripts? Boy. That's a tough question. Telling you. Those kind of constraints could be good. I'm trying to think, how would I do that? That is tough. A good example is the forearm where you'd want the arm itself to gradually rotate. Huh. I haven't done a whole lot of rigging myself, so I'm not as familiar with this problem with those constraints. That's a good question. So you'd have the front of the forearm rotating all the way, but near the elbow it only twists a tiny bit along the y-axis. I would personally control a lot of that pragmatically, but that wouldn't leave you with a lot of wiggle room if you're trying to do dynamic animations. Maybe there's something in the animator that would allow you to lock some of that in mechanism, however you say it. Like if you had a state with all this garbage in here, it might have constraints in here that it will allow the animation tool to create a new blend state. Yeah, maybe like in a blend state somewhere. Something mechanism related. You could just set a constraint and set the weight to 0.5, but also rotates along the z-axis, so you need to make bones moves that should in all directions except the y-axis. I'm gonna be honest, it might be outside my pay grade. An interesting quandary. I would need to think about it for some time and play around with it. But that might have some abilities. Like without code, I would look towards the animator and mechanism, or however the hell they say it. There's probably constraints in here somewhere, if I was to guess. These are just layers. I wonder, I don't have any 3D models in this one. Let's take a look. Let me open up a different project that does have 3D models in it. Easily by either abusing the rotation order with the child or AI mat constraint. Both of these will do 180 flip along. I'm basically just venting. I don't think it's possible. Well, that's good. I don't know at the moment. I've given you some directionality at which I would go at it, but this isn't a particular problem I've come across myself. Let me open up my other project real quick. See if OBS can handle it. What are you working on, Ruffy? I didn't know you were also in the game. The Gameosphere. Let's go back to Overworld. VR chat avatar. Oh, yeah. You were talking about making a possible Slugcat one, right? They're terrifying. It's a waifu's life for me. No. Go over there, bugs. So many problems still with the bugs. All right, let's get this dirty animator out of here. Close tab. Back to scene view. Yeah, it's an interesting quandary. I don't think it'd be too hard to do if I spent some time dorking around with it. But I don't know off the top of my head. All right, so we've got we need a way back. from our other scene. Way to close it. So let us open our GUI code again. We got to kill the scene we're currently in. So we have a way to open it. Where is it? In-game GUI? That's not it. No. Where did I put things? Master GUI. I'm gonna have to move this out of Master GUI at some point, actually, into its own, into the Overworld GUI, but that's okay. So we open up our scene. We need an easy way to close it down. Close evolution scene. Oops. I think we're just gonna do the same thing. We're gonna unload the scene. So scene manager dot unload scene. Our evolution scene, which is just evolution selector at the moment. Again, having these sort of like hard typed names in here, not a great idea, but it, you know, when you're just prototyping, like half the goal of game dev is just get something out. What is it warning me about? Is obsolete. Use unload sync, scene async. Okay, as you wish. Grumpy compiler. But yeah, sometimes it's a little bit short to just type things out this way instead of having them up here in a variable where you could change them easier. But it's okay for you're just like a solo project or a very small group to just get something out there. You can always come back and refactor. So let's go back to our evolution scene, and we need to put another button to close. And I also want to make it so that the escape button works to close the scene, because I'm a sucker for the escape button. Open her up. Go to the canvas. Let's put I mean, we need a lot of stuff in here. And this is the wrong scene. That was the old one. We need a lot of stuff in here. So we don't need that evolution point button if this thing opens. So also if we open it up, let's make the button go in. Because that button's just there being annoying. What we also want is a counter to tell us how many points we have left and our escape button. So we could put them in the same place. Wouldn't be too terrible. Excuse me. Let me see what the hierarchy looks like real quick. Bring in our GUI. Oop, drag it in. Let's put another button down here for going back. Maybe we put it on the top. Nah, let's keep it on the bottom. For now, at the bare minimum. Main game, overworld. Or we could have the GUI not even here. Let's leave everything related to the evolution thing and the evolution thing. So let me discard, unload the scene. I'm gonna create a prefab. Strange. Remove scene. Canvas, background. So we can just put the button here. UI button. Go put it in the bottom left corner for now. This is the exit button. Oh, hold on, I see there's more. Didn't they teach you to use single character variable names in school? It hurts my soul. Exit button. All right. Close? Close for now is fine. There's a lot of that where it's like, I'll come back and we'll come back to this later. Just make it a little smaller. I just need a simple way to get back for the moment. And then up here on the top, We'll just put an evolution points available button or a counter, which would just be a text object. Up to the top you go. Points available. Let's make this a little smaller. And again, this is just temporary programmer garbage. So that way we know what we're doing. What's with all the strings? Too varied for enums or constants? Strings in which fashion? Are you talking about for these puppies? Like the loading the scene? Points available. Text. Those puppies. Well, here's the deal with Dangle, is I could definitely make this a enum somewhere. I would just have to have a way to set that a little easier. So like I could do like scene names. So like this could be, what am I in right now? Evolution scene, right? But I still have to like set this somewhere. Like somewhere I have to have a alignment between what evolution scene means and this. Now, I mean, I could like have them be the exact same thing. Like I could call it evolution select and everything. But if I ever change the name here of the scene, I would have to somehow come back here and change this. I really wish you could like have a public scene, like this scene. And drag it over. Like let's see if that got a little bit easier. I don't think it did. What is this in? Master GUI? Let's drag the GUI back in here real quick. Come here, GUI. Dearest GUI, I need your body. Who owns you? This is in... Oh, it's not public. I was like, why aren't you showing up? So we're gonna take a look. We'll see how well this works. All right, so we have this scene. There's no scenes in here for this scene. So evolution. Learn how to spell William. All right, so let's drag it in. It doesn't want to drag in. It's being a grump. Hello? Huh. Yeah, it won't even let me drag it in. How strange. What type of struct? It's a struct? Oh yeah, no wonder. It's not like a specific, like a scene thing. What is a scene? A Unity scene manager struct. Huh. Yeah, there's no real data structure, it looks like, for scenes. Unless I'm going crazy. Happy slime noises. This would be an interesting thing to try to get set up. And that might be a real good asset store item, because I can't be the only person who has this annoyance. Like the better scene manager or something. Well, at least, but for the time, we'll leave it like this, and it'll break at some point. I'll come back and fix it. But yeah, the more you can sort of define things once, like you're saying, and reuse them is good. If you want to see something that make you very happy, all of my information for these guys, the talents, are stored in, what are they called? I forget the term. Little data structures. Where the fuck are they? This is the other problem if you don't like use your stuff. Hello? Talents? Dearest talents, where have you gone? Are you in bugs? That wouldn't make any sense. Evolutions. Boom. They're these really cool dealy doos. I can't remember the name right now. Oh, but it'll tell me if I open this up. Scriptable objects. Yeah. So you can, in here, have them as little data structures that keep all of your information and makes them interchangeable. So like, you see how I have rapid egg laying over here. I can easily go find it. You, rapid egg laying. Not the GUI. Oh god, there's too much fucking stuff over the GUI. GUI, go away. No one likes you. Unload scene. Save changes. You. Click this. Alright, so right here, for this talent, I can switch, and you'll see up here I'll change. Boop, 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 to any one of these, and it automatically changes the information and the, what's it called? The image. It's super cool. So if you use scriptable objects well, it makes your life a lot easier. They do have some horrendous problems though, that are difficult to get around. Well, anyways, let's go back to the dumpster fire that is my game. Cries and recompile for every change. Yeah. It's both good and bad. A double-edged sword, if you will. So we have our exit button. Let's tell it that we want things to close when we're happy. Where the fuck do I do that? Master GUI? No. The evolution scene. Close evolution. So let's just get this. Who owns you? Canvas. No. No. You deal entirely with the tree. I don't think I really want the GUI involved. Tree though. This is the problem. The tree code is so good by itself. Would I want to ruin it with GUI code? What do you think? Should I ruin the tree code with GUI code? We'll do it for now. Because we're a monster. I don't want to link anything else. Oh god, you don't have scene management here. This is the other black magic of programming, is knowing all the things that you have to pound include into everything. Or in this case, using. Blah. This is strictly an MVP Minecraft server. Let's see. Ruffy, what? It's a Wednesday at 2 o'clock. What are you doing? What are you doing here? I appreciate having you, but pointers, C#, the bastard. C# is so much nicer than C++ and Java. My first language was Java, and then I moved over to C++, and it was vomit-inducing. I mean, the C++ was way better in Java, but I eventually lateraled over to Objective-C, and that was a terrible mistake. And work out, chat in between sets. Okay, nice. And then what did I do from Objective-C? Then I went over to C#, and C# has been much better than those monsters for me. Nothing says having a productive workout like listening to some idiot babble on about Unity and different programming languages. I appreciate you spending your time listening to it. All right. Things. Concentrate, William. You can do it. So button. Let's add an on-click. Let's drag this piece of shit on here. Close evolution thing. All right. Let's see if it shits itself and dies. So what sets are you doing? Are you performing or are you helping with the production? Uh-oh. Where's my anything? Oh, I was looking at the wrong window. We go here, then we leave. No, then we leave. We leave very slowly. Oh, I don't like that at all. It feels terrible. I wonder if it's because they're on top of each other. We go here. We leave. So that was fine. Why was it so slow before? Today's planks, push-ups, and dips. Very good. Why was it slow before? Whatever. Exit to menu. Salisbury steak. Oh, let me go get my tea. Hold on, I'll put the game on autoplay while I step off. What's a horrible map? This map? Perfect. Bugs. Go slowly migrate over here. Alright, I'll be right back. I've made some green tea. I see the bugs are murdering well. Oh, they actually killed that person. Just go send them up here for fun. Go get them, bugs. Look at that bug murder. Oh, delicious. And then final bug murder. I started a project in Unreal Engine, but while blueprints are great for non-coders, trying to code it was a nightmare. Yes, Godot, it's nice, but primarily use the scripting language in Python. Godot to let you use any other language though, just their own scripting language for scripty stuff. Huh. I really like Unreal, but as you can see, I'm using Unity. Visual scripting is tough if you're an actual programmer. I feel like it's actually harder. All right, we need that button to come back. So are you developer for work? Although you said you were waiting in between sets. Oh, you're working out. I was thinking sets like you were doing like video production. That's funny. What am I doing? Oh yeah, trying to get the thing to go back. Let's go to the main game GUI. Not the main game GUI. Master GUI. So we only load the GUI one time. So when we go back, we want it to open up if it's still available. We still have button or points. So what's the clever way to do that? Preferably so I don't have to do this again. It's really great for quickly testing things, but Unreal Engine Blueprints makes it a pain to visualize the results of things, and with anything complicated you end up with Factorio. It is true. All right, so we only load the GUI once. So how do we want to go back? That is the tough part. I'm trying to make a good system, is figuring out how to lay out the fucking architecture so it doesn't fall apart on itself. But I am a fan of doing things the lazy way the first time, just to get it done. My problem with doing projects is I go through like waves of motivation where I'll get a lot done in a short period of time and then I won't work on it for months. No, that was the wrong one. Maybe I will just unload it and then reload it back in. Have everything controlled by the GUI controller. Honestly, that does sound like the best way. Or just treat everything like the scene that it is. Yeah, I'm trying to do something different than my architecture normally does. Thing. So main game loads the evolution scene. Overworld man. Oh god, don't look at this. Hideous. That's also hideous. Where's the master GUI? What do I even use for loading scenes these days? It's been so long. I tell it to load the scene, and then I do other things. Ah, that's right. Okay. From the Overworld Manager? Yeah. Do they each have their own thing? God, it's been so long. Who calls you? What even is this? Oh, on the update? Is loading map is equal to true? Jesus. Let's see. Broken gets fixed. Good enough is forever. Commits to memory. Or is also bad you decide to forget. You're familiar. You're familiar with the pain. Fade out for GUI. How the fuck does all this work? What am I clicking on? This is for the overworld? Oh, it's for clicking on these boys. Oh, that's right. Right, I forgot everything. Okay, I think it'll still work. I mean, the overworld's the only place that I will allow it anyways to happen, so. Why not have its own little GUI management? Good question. Damn, I've already made it to an hour on the stream. Time flies when you're programming. Oh. My biggest problem is staying motivated with all my programmer art. It's not the worst, but it could be better. Got my little bugs. Oh, I can't zoom in. I broke the camera. That's right. Go get them bugs. Yeah, bug murder. Really, it's the people murder that's the fun part, and the splat noises. I think I need to rectify my scale stuff. Oh. Go get him, bugs. This is the one hard part about this game is you actually have to build up a significant enough force to take out the humans. Build up our swarm. I do know I've made something that's interesting because I like to fiddle around in it. I like to play it. That's good. I just have to work on finishing the game and increasing the funitude. Go get him. My AI is too stupid. Oh. The Rambos are gonna come in and kill me. No! Euphoria came to mind. Never played that one. Is that Floria? Euphoria? Why does my exit button not work? That's not good. I feel like a lot of things broke when I upgraded to the new version of Unity. Oh, I think that's a good double checks. Euphoria. As is tradition. I think it's a good spot for now. I just want to do a quick hour of game dev and chatting. I might do a game stream later tonight. Maybe I'll do some Hollow Knight. Maybe I'll play something new. I don't know yet. Is there another good game I should play? Or should I keep Hollow Knighting? As I casually drink my green tea. If I could find it in my list. I kind of want to play Deus Ex, which is a very old game from 2000. That is hilariously relevant to today's modern political climate. Deus Ex is a game about a plague being unleashed upon the populace and only the rich being able to afford the cure. Very, very succinct. MO Ashtray. Alright, I'll take a look at it. Alright. That'll be all for now. Thank you for joining. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.